Good morning, beautiful people. How are you this morning? This is Jan of Jan Hicks Creates, and I am wonderful. I started my morning with a gorgeous sunrise coming down through the trees and shining on some white blossoms we have on trees here. And I started my morning with reading some beautiful comments on my videos that just lift me up. So thank you for that. It is May 30th, 7:41 a.m., 71 degrees and sunny. May 30th means day 30 of Stitch Mania. And May 30 means Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather, the Sally Spencer sampler. Now this is one that many different people were working on as a stitch along. I think pretty much everybody else is done. But that is okay. This is such a sweet sampler. I love alphabets. Now I am not doing, some people did the alphabet as a bunch of little eyelets. I think eyelets, not Smyrnas. No, I'm just doing them as cross stitch. Ain't nobody got time for that. But isn't this pretty? I love the whimsical nature of it. You know, like I said, I am not much into traditional samplers, but this just struck a chord with me. I think it's awesome. So, working on that today. Have a lot to talk about as always, a lot to show you. I'm going to go back first to what I was working on yesterday and talk a little bit about that. So that was the Modern Folk Embroidery, 4 Seasons. The real name is something like a Primitive Quaker. I don't even remember. It's this long thing that has the word primitive and Quaker and 4 seasons in it. I wrote it on the title yesterday. So I wanted to get the word winter done, and I did. That went fairly easily. Letters go so quick. Let's see. Carolyn had asked what color I'm using, what color I used in the snowflake here, and several other people just asked for my colors in general. So as I mentioned yesterday, I'm making this up as I go because I want to have a transition from season to season. So my main color for the outline is Wrought Iron by Gentle Arts. And so as you can see, I have a ton of it. There isn't a whole lot of variegation to this, but there is some. I love how the contrast of this with this fabric. I have a wild kitty in the house. Sasha is just full of himself. You know, usually after breakfast, he just crawls under the bed and goes to sleep. I closed the screen door so he can't get out on the deck. We let them out on the deck, and we usually keep the door open out onto to the deck during the day. But I don't like them going out on the deck without me there to monitor them, you know, in case something should happen. So when I come up here, I close the screen door. He's not happy with me at all. But anyway, what was I saying? The border will all be done in this navy blue. So regardless of season, that's not going to change. Let's see, and I was saying I have plenty of it. I am stitching over one thread with, over 2 threads with 1 strand. So yeah, I have plenty of that. The gray is Liberty by Gentle Arts, and it has very gentle variegation, which just is beautiful against this gray fabric. The brown is Wood Smoke, again by Gentle Arts. That's what you see in the deer and the bird. I'm going to use it one more time down here to balance out the brown but I probably won't use it a whole lot more, and then this will go away in the following seasons because, you know, I wanted to portray in winter the feel of how things get really colorless, basically. Grays and browns. Yet with the snow and the sunrise, you do have, and the blue skies, after a snowstorm passes, the sky is just that stunning blue. I wanted to have that feeling too. So that's kind of what this is representing. So my other colors are from Color Compliments in, I think she's in Vancouver, maybe? She's over on that side of Canada somewhere. So this variegated blue and purple is Color Compliments color number 2. And the blues and greens, I guess that's a green, kind of a minty pale green and blue. That is Color Compliments number 162. So as I continue on, like the gray and the brown is both going to go away. Then the other colors, I'm going to add pink. Like I have this little touch of pink here. I probably won't add any more. This is another Color Compliments. I don't have it. I didn't pull that one out. So I will be adding more pinks. In spring, I will be making the purples more vibrant, and I'll be adding more green, a brighter green come spring. So the other thing I wanted to ask, or again, words, I'm listening to the cat going wild downstairs. The other thing I wanted to comment on is the single stitches that are scattered through this piece. Somebody asked me if I could show how to do a single stitch from start to finish, because she has this pattern and she doesn't want to drag it underneath, you know, carry the thread underneath from stitch to stitch. I did that. You can see I did that because this is 40 count. It's not that far of a distance to go to get to the single stitches, and because it is, I'm using gray, a lighter color, you won't see it being carried behind. But I will say that all these single stitches scattered through here, this is a pet peeve of mine. Designers feel they need to fill in any empty space there is, and so they add just these scattered stitches. Now, does it look bad? No, but you don't need to do that. You know, there's something in design, a design theory called white space. And whether you're looking at a magazine, whether you're looking at a scrapbook page layout, you leave white space because that allows a place for your eye to rest. It prevents the design from getting too busy. Now, I did put all the little single stitches in. I contemplate every time I come across a design like this whether I will or not. I did on this one because, again, it wasn't too bad being 40 count. I didn't have to carry it too far. But I just wish designers would realize they don't have to do that. And it's kind of the same with just these little pieces of forced stitches. They just want to fill in the empty space. To me, on this section, it kind of looks more like snow, so I'm okay with it. I'll have to decide as I go on. But anyways, I got winter done, and I'm very happy with it. I love this piece. I know, I say that all the time. The other thing that I wanted to show you, I know I said I'd take it to StitchCon. I lied. I couldn't resist. So it started because it struck me all of a sudden. I did spend some time yesterday going through the linen. I got through about half of it, counting it and marking it with what count it is. And as I was going through, I came across this gorgeous, gorgeous dark purple piece, and I thought, OMG, that would be perfect for the Give Love, Get Love. Look at that floss on that linen. My camera is blowing the floss out a little bit, making it more neon than it really is. That's a little better. But it just resonates on this purple. This is a 32 count. It is not big enough for me to stitch over two, to stitch the design over two. It wouldn't fit. So I thought, okay, let me try it over one. I tried it over one, and it just looks it looked too crowded. And besides, I wanted to have enough space for this beautiful floss to shine. This is Jan's Pride, the special rainbow floss that Mrs. Sadus made for me. So I went through my other stash and came across this. This is a 28 count, so it is a little bigger, but it is the perfect size. I think I put it over here a little bit too far, but regardless of whether I make it into a pillow or frame it somehow, I'll only leave a 1/4 inch margin over here anyway, so there's still plenty to wrap around. Yeah, I couldn't resist. I had to start it. Once I had it in my brain, I had to start it. So Give Love, Get Love. This is the free design that Donna Bayless of By the Bay Needle Arts created for me yesterday to celebrate the hashtag Give Love, Get Love. Anyways, I will put a link again below to this pattern so you can grab it. It is free. It's on Donna's blog. Look how pretty. So working with the rainbow floss, oh, I'm sorry, is very interesting because each length you cut off is a different part of the rainbow. And so I'm getting about 3 letters per the 6 strands, you know, two strands a piece. I'm using 2 strands over two linen threads. So that's you can see how I used those strands there and then switched, cut off a new section and using those strands there. So pretty. Donna, thank you again. All right, so Sally Spencer. It's been a while since I've worked on Sally, so it is good to get back to her. Let's see, I had some other things to share with you. First, again on the, I'm looking at my notes. That's what happens when I pause. I'm looking at my notes to see what I want to tell you first. Another thing about bags, and again, I hope I'm not, beating a dead horse here, but Peggy mentioned that she stores all of her quilts in pillowcases. She is a recipient of one of her grandmother's quilts that was stored in plastic. And she doesn't say how long it was stored in there, but long enough that it became brittle and rotted because of being stored in the plastic and not having a chance to breathe. And also probably because the plastics, the chemicals from the plastic leached onto the fabric and did some damage. So, yeah, just another case for storing these beautiful fabrics, not storing them in plastic, storing them in pillowcases. Mine right now are not stored in plastic. They're just all laid out in my chifforobe, on the shelf in my chifforobe. And I've shown that in an earlier video. This is the color floss I'm using for this is Midnight by Jenna Arts. I am not using the Called Floor colors. Of course, I know what's new, and I do need to put my color conversion for this on my website. I felt that This was a little bit too red, white, and blue for me. It's not really, but it just leaned that way too much, and I didn't want this to be a patriotic sampler. This is more whimsical to me than patriotic should be. Excuse me. Not that patriotic can't be whimsical, but it just felt more like that. So I changed the colors, and also I just changed the colors to what I had, basically. So I'm using Midnight instead of Black Crow for these letters. And it is another Gentle Arts. It has some variegation. It's not a very strong variegation at all. So when I need to, I do go back and forth on the rows instead of doing each stitch individual. So that's what I'm doing right now. I also wanted to let you guys know, Hicks X Jude Designs did put up the Midsummer Garden pattern and kit, you know, all the different options as an item again in her Etsy shop. I have a feeling that she was getting so many messages from people that, you know, all these individual messages, that it just got too overwhelming, and she decided to just add it back into her shop. She does say it's for a limited time. I'm not sure why she took it down to begin with. I don't know how long she is going to leave it up, but if you are one of the people that expressed an interest in it and have not gotten around to contacting Hicks yet, I would run over to her Etsy shop and go ahead and order it, because it may be that once she's done with it this time, she'll take it down. So anyways, I am so happy that I was able to promote that pattern for her again and get a lot of interest in it again. It's a gorgeous piece. And I will get back to it someday, and that will probably bring the interest back up again on it. You know, it's funny because with FlossTube, with all of us showing different things at different times, I can just imagine the waves that happen for these stores, you know, as there's interest in patterns and then they subside and then they come again, somebody else mentions it. You know, they know at this point, okay, somebody mentioned this on a YouTube channel. I think it's awesome. I think it's reviving the craft and bringing people to different patterns that you might not see otherwise. I just think it's all wonderful. It's a wonderful world. The other thing I was going to tell you about was Victorian Motto. Of course, she has giveaways pretty much every month. If you are not a subscriber to her blog, you need to run over and do that. Sign up for her newsletter, which is basically just an email. She sends an email every time she any announcement. She's good about contacting, but it's not like she floods your email. And of course, it's all stuff you want to know, like her giveaways. So her giveaway this month is for a free month in her. You can choose either, I believe you can choose other. You can choose either the Floss Club or the Fabric Club. I believe it is only going through June 1st, so do not tarry. If you're interested, go sign up and follow her and comment, and that's how you get entered. That's how you get entered into the giveaway. Yes, I have been meaning to mention this for a couple weeks now and kept forgetting, so I'm sorry for the delay, but it is not too late. Go and sign up, and like I said, she has giveaways all the time, and once she gets to Christmas, she starts like every day. There's a new giveaway. She is so generous. So that's about all I have for you today. Oh, no, I don't. I wanted to talk about StitchCon. Oh, yeah. I keep going back and forth about what to take. I am really and truly trying to pack light. I think I've mentioned before, I don't need to pack anything For the RV, we have clothes in there. We have toiletries in there. If we need anything, we're going to be in Flagstaff and Phoenix. We can run out and get stuff. So basically what I'm packing is for StitchCon. There was a thread yesterday on the StitchCon group about, you might want to take a hoodie for the, it's going to be hot and humid in June, at the end of June in Ohio, but inside the conference center, they'll probably have the AC cranked, and you might want to take a hoodie, capris, long pants, and I'm like, OMG, I have to wear long pants. I hate wearing long pants. Do I have capris here? I might have capris in the RV. Do they still fit? And then I made a comment, I was commenting about all of this on the thread on the Facebook group, and I made a comment. I said, well, the bright side is that I won't have to shave my legs. And Kyle's like, I won't shave my legs either, Jan. Like, that's a good friend. But yeah, so projects, I think I'm going to take the mushrooms, the Botanica mushrooms. That's the thing I'm stitching for my son, as a gift for my son. So I'd kind of like to get that done. 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of like to get that done for Christmas. Now, Christmas this year, they're probably going to be coming out in October, because they can't be traveling with their jobs. They can't be traveling as easily in December. Shoot. I'm down too far. 1, 2, 3. Am I down too far up here? I am. 1, 2. Oh, crap. That should be up 1. All right. All that has to come out. Yep. I started down here. I should have started up here. Well, doesn't that just make me want to swear? Anyway, yeah, StitchCon. Mushrooms, I'm going to take that. And then I think I might take Pretty Little Hawaii. I'm going to be taking Shades of Gold with me to stitch on in the RV. And I might take another little one. I don't know. I need to pack light. I was also thinking about taking a knitting project, but I got one of those little suitcases, the kind of like roll-on half-size suitcases, because it'll be easier for me since I'm traveling without Mike to manage it. So, yeah, we leave in 2 weeks today. So starting to think about all that stuff. Anyways, guys, I need to rip. So much for my wonderful morning. I'm swearing in my head right now. All right, guys, I will love you. I'm going to use the frog here, and then I'm going to send him on someplace. He can go out and roam the wilds of Hawaii for all I care. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully we will be more successful tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will be doing some 1/1 stitching on this schoolhouse, this summer schoolhouse lessons by Brenda Gervais. Hopefully I won't screw up. Until then, I love you guys. Remember, give love, get love. That's what it's all about. Till tomorrow, have a good one. Bye-bye.